My name is Ken Perlin, and I'm a professor at New York University, and I mostly do research in computer graphics and animation and using games for learning. My entire style of teaching and research is based around the internet. When I give courses, I post the assignments on the web, and I expect the students to post their computer programs on the web. I find that it's much, much more interesting for the students if the work that they create, a computer game, for example, is able to be seen not just by their friends, but even by their parents. I think that the internet is rapidly becoming something very, very generic. The way books, newspapers, and magazines became generic at an earlier age. It's so pervasive that it's no longer about technology. It's more about the way people communicate with each other and how cultures interconnect. Absolutely, yes. I think that for way too long, the talent of young people had been blocked in that you needed to get approval from a very powerful organization that had control of the means of production and distribution. Now that the means of production is much lower, people can afford to make their own films, their own computer graphics, their own special effects, their own film, their own musical productions. And the means of distribution, of course, is very, very simple and cheap. You can just post something on YouTube, for example. Now it's possible for a very talented person to completely circumvent the need to get approval from someone else beforehand. This is important not only for getting your work out there, but for retaining ownership and control of your own work. Yes, I think that's already happening. There are entire organizations that are called literally Games for Change, where people look at the use of computer games to raise people's consciousness about political issues, to form action networks of people who have a common political cause. I am the director of an institute in New York that is looking at how games can be used to transform learning. Fundamentally, playing a game is a much more engaging activity for a child than, say, having to read something from a textbook. Not only is it more fun, but it can also be much more attuned to that particular child's learning needs, and it can be much more useful for the teacher in understanding what the child needs because of the feedback that they get. So I think that the future of social change and of education are both very much tied in with network computation and gameplay.